2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking at the Thunder, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. Tonight, two teams that crash the glass. Kenny, when you think of the great rebounders in this league, what are some of their key attributes?
Oh, they get that position, and then they hold it. They maintain it. That's the key.
Maintaining the position.
Yes, because you can get pushed under. And if you come down with the rebound yourself, you can't do it, let's say, just tip it out. Great rebounders do that too. They'll just tip it out to the guards, and then we can start the fast break.
What's the key to good rebounding?
You got to assume every shot is going to be missed. And, Ernie, nothing replaces great hustle.
Oh, that's true. That is so true.
I could box you out.
I know you
I would
could.
keep you off the glass.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. Kevin Harlan standing by.
You and your 6 rings.
There you go again.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Charlotte Hornets and just couldn't finish strong. They took a 4-point loss in that one.
And it seemed inevitable that they were going to lose that game with how they struggled, but in the end, they had an opportunity to win it.
Yeah, really the only thing close, though, about that game was the score. In just about every other aspect, they were totally outplayed.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Paul George has made a reputation as a dynamic two-way player. He said you can dominate a game in so many ways. That's always been my mindset. I just go out there and ball. Kevin, back to you.
Well, you love that versatility, DA. Thank you. And we see it so often, Brent. A good team gets up for a big game, and they win. And then they fall down with their performance and lose to an inferior club the very next game.
Interesting point, because last year we saw this so much with the eventual champion Golden State Warriors, where they just seemed to be disillusioned with some of the competition on a given night, playing down to their competition. So if I was a coach in this league, I would use them as an example, that even the best team in the business struggles with this, and you have to find a way out of it. We're not the Warriors. We want to be the Warriors, so we got to break out of this funk a lot quicker, and this cannot be part of our identity as we move forward.
Now, here is Young. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court right now for the Hawks, Young and Bazemore team up in the backcourt, and it's Prince outside at the 3 with Collins down at the power forward, and it's the Monster in at the center, locking down the middle. Atlanta shooting their first free throws of the evening.
Taking 2 shots.
No good on that one. Good on the second free throw. Well, Brent, as a former dunk contest winner, I have to ask your thoughts on one of the great Hawks of all time, the terrific human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins.
Well, Dominique, one of the greatest athletes this game has ever seen, and one of the most feared dunkers, obviously, of his era. You remember a lot of the highlights with Neek coming in, flying in, and finishing off a shot that might have missed from the opposite wing and going up over the top in 2 or 3 guys. So he certainly doesn't get enough credit nationally for the type of offensive firepower that Neek provided for his beloved Atlanta Hawks for years and years.
Now, here is Young. He kicks to Bazemore. Back to Young. Westbrook with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. It's good.
I respect Russell Westbrook's passing ability, something that he's worked hard to become better at.
Young outside. Passes it to the monster. Now Bazemore. Collins wide open. He fires. And it's off from three-point range. George against Prince. Let's go. George, no good.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Young's shot is off. Thunder have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Right side, George. Over Prince. Had a hand on it.
Such a good defender, Taurean Prince. Physical, good lateral movement, and has the tools there to snuff out a shot.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Offensive rebound. The monster. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
Now, here is George. He had 40 points in the win against Cleveland. To the middle. Here's the monster. And he banks in the layup. The monster's got 5 now.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
Thunder trailing by 3. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
Ferguson kicks to Grant. 6 to shoot. Over Collins. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Jeremy Grant just has such a great combination of athleticism and explosiveness. It's up to him to find familiar spots on the floor and do a good job of playing off his teammates to make an impact on every game that he plays. And you look back at that 2012 finals, the Thunder lost in 5 games to the Heat. And you looked at that young talent, Durant, Westbrook, Harden, now all MVP award winners, along with Serge Ibaka, a young, talented, energetic Serge Ibaka, and it felt like there was a team that was going to rule the West for a very long time.
Now here's Prince. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. And Bazemore kicks to Collins. Fires from 14, and that one goes long.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And the Thunder trading away Harden in the summer of 2012, but Brent unable to agree on a contract extension.
Well, OKC agreed on the contract. James Harden did not, and that's sort of the line in the sand that was drawn. And the salary cap jumping up in subsequent seasons, they just had bad timing in terms of the frugality of what they offered up to James Harden. It's a decision that we talk about a lot. It's revisionist history, but at the time it was the move that OKC made, and I can't really argue with it.
And the Hawks with possession here, following the score by Oklahoma City. And here's Bazemore. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him.
Well, it's one thing to play good defense, but then to alter the shot and get the rebound, that's a good day's work.
And here's George for 3. But they'll get another chance.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon, because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Westbrook kicks to Ferguson. The pass to Grant. The 3. Offensive rebound. And it's Adams on the follow.
Adams, such a physical presence out there on the glass. This is how he gets a lot of his points.
Westbrook against Young. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Steven Adams picks one up. And for Trae Young, it's a little unfair that he's already being compared to Steph Curry.
Scouts are always going to look for comparisons, And I'm not saying Young is Curry, but many of the strengths and weaknesses are similar. The size and athleticism, the insane range, and both have that it factor. And I'll tell you, Trae Young, go big or go home, always gives you 100%, as competitive as they come, and the young fella wants to win so badly. Sometimes that emotion really comes out.
Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. Here's Ferguson. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Over Young. Ferguson misses. And you know, Greg, it's amazing the impact Young makes, especially, of course, on the offensive end.
High-level shot maker, a threat the moment he crosses half court. Instinctive playmaker, just needs to play more within himself and avoid over-dribbling.
8 feet away. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
That's feel-good moment right there. 3 of 4 so far.
Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against Cleveland. And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. And when you watch Collins play, Greg, you just can't help but notice how athletic he is going to the rim.
Man, his hang time and ability to throw it down make him an ideal finisher inside. Very efficient because he's not only a strong finisher, but also enjoys attacking the rim. And does a great job, I think, of picking up misses, just being a pest for the defense.
Here's George after the basket by Atlanta. Over Prince, and it's George missing.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Young from outside. It's hauled in by George. Prince, the pass to Collins. Kicks it to Bazemore. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Out to the right wing. Inside. And Noel throws it down.
And this is what it's all about, guys. The competitive spirit, the energy that we're seeing. This one's got the feeling like it's going to go down to the wire.
And if it does, as evenly as these two teams have played here, it's anyone's guess who's going to come out on top.
So it's the Hawks now, following the score by Oklahoma City. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. Atlanta shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Terrence Ferguson. The Thunder last season assembling a big three of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony didn't mesh, Brent, like they had hoped. In your opinion, what went wrong?
Well, a bit of a down season in terms of the scoring for Melo, but reasons for that, just not as many opportunities and playing outside along the three-point line. The biggest damage last year was the Robertson injury. It felt like in December the OKC team started to find its stride, and Robertson going out of the lineup, there just wasn't enough of the depth on that roster to make up the difference for them defensively, and OKC never really seemed to find its footing or confidence again. You can blame some poor defense on that play, just a total breakdown. You gotta at least contest at some point.
Westbrook feeling it out a bit. It's good.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down.
Here's the monster. 23 points his last outing. Here's Adams. Buries it down low. Adams has got his first points in this one. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. They trail by 3. Left side, Westbrook. Fires at the elbow. The shot, no good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
Yeah, two clubs that rarely face off, East versus West. This is going to be a nice treat for the fans.
Well, Kicking off this 2-game season series, I expect a lot of feeling out by both teams and the coaching staff, and then a number of subsequent adjustments in this one.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Adams finds Len. Drills the three-pointer. Now it's a 6-point Hawks lead.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
It's Westbrook with the drive, and he uses the glass on the way. Westbrook's got his second bucket of the night.
So explosive on the inside. Russell Westbrook, crazy athletic.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game. The WNBA, the top teams make the playoffs. We know that regardless of what conference. And the early results look good, Brent. Do you ever see that happening in the NBA?
I like the chatter about it. I like the consideration about it. I love the idea of the top 16 teams making the playoffs. But then I think to myself, well, if 12 of those 16 teams are in the Western Conference, then a lot of people are going to be watching something else come playoff time. So
travel just makes it prohibitive.
Not just the travel, Kevin, but the idea that you have these shifts. As we know, the Western Conference has dominated the NBA for at least the last decade, that there just wouldn't be much attention for the playoffs, at least throughout the country, if you did it that way. Man, he's missing those kind of good looks. His team is in some serious trouble.
Herter, he's covered by Felton. And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 7-point differential. Nice shot by Felton. Atlanta shooting 47% from the field to start things off. Adams against Schroeder. Adams outside. Herter, he's covered by Felton. The rebound by Patterson. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. There's Noel. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. Alex Len picks one up.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a pass available there for Paul George, but he spots that small crease, he fires the ball through it, and he gets it to his open man.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Morris is checked in. The Hawks leading. Adams outside. Len dishes to Adams. There's a minute 34 left to play in the first quarter. Trying to find Len. Gets it to him. And he makes that one. Len's got 5.
Pretty good concentration there. The more touches Len is getting on the inside, it seems like the confidence is growing.
And slam dunk by Noel.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
1:06 left to play in the first. Herter is guarded by Schroeder. Back to Adams. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Felton kicks to George. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. He's got 5.
You know, not a good start for him offensively. Just 2 of 8 from the field, but his confidence has not waned.
Pass to Len. Adams against Schroeder. Here's Dedman. Offensive rebound. Carter, that's good. Carter's got his second basket.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. George, that's a 2-pointer. Outside for Felton. Outside, George. Pass to Felton. Tries yet again. Right back after this break. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen from the Hawks, what do you guys think?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, that prevented some points, didn't it? Also, how you have that intimidation factor going early on, you wonder if in the fourth quarter they'll think back to the first.
On the court for Atlanta, we've got Carter. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Alex Len, and it's Adams in at the 1. Outside, George. He kicks it to Schroeder. On the wing, Morris. Adams trying to free himself up.
Well, some more of the reach effect of Dedmon, the way he times that one. Impressive shot blocking ability.
Passes it to Len. Back to Adams. Shoots over Adams. And Adams sends it back. Carter against George. Morris kicks to Felton. Kicks it out to Schroeder. Oklahoma City gets it back. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
The power of Steven Adams, able to finish through contact, plus he's rewarded with the trip now to the free throw line. And Steven Adams, the kind of guy who on a nightly basis is so appreciated by the star players on the team, and certainly the coaching staff, just doing dirty work, setting screens, scoring on the inside, being a physical presence. And he's taken some strides, I think, Kevin, offensively, being able to score sometimes out of the box.
And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more. That'll put Trae Young on the line. It's on Dennis Schroeder. And you look at Adams' per-minute scoring averages, Brent, they've gone up every season.
Well, it's got to help having Russell Westbrook setting the table and the type of attention that not only Westbrook drew, but also PG and Carmelo Anthony for a season. So obvious uptick in the offensive numbers for Steven Adams, but he is improving, and you see some confidence in the offensive end of the floor.
Here's Ferguson. Dishes to Schroeder. Down low. And there's the pass to Ferguson. A three from Morris. The Thunder with another miss.
And a really smart defender there. He just reads the play, wastes no time trying to blow it up.
And what I like best is that he does it completely under control. Really gives the shooter nowhere to turn to.
Schroeder. Bazemore grabs the miss. The Hawks leading by 7. Young outside. He dishes it to Dedmon. Bazemore on the wing. He's guarded by Schroeder. 5 to shoot. Young passes to Dedmon.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Ferguson to the right side. Grant kicks it over to Schroeder. In the corner, it's Morris. Misses the 3. And so Young will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. Prince outside. Back to Young. Takes the 3. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and back court for the Hawks.
And their guards have been the ones to really set the tone here tonight with their ability to create shots. You talk about the big fellas. They love to play with guards who try to keep them involved offensively.
Schroeder kicks to Adams. And Adams with the slam.
And trust me, Dennis Schroeder would love to score the basketball, but his ability to set up his teammates is also effective.
Schroeder against Young. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Straight D that time from Dennis Schroeder.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
Grant surveying the D. And here's Morris for three. They get the rebound. Ferguson kicks it over to Schroeder. Adams trying to free himself up. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Well, Schroeder likes to drive first, now establishing the shoot first confidence. Love watching him rise up immediately after the catch.
Now here's Dedmon. He averages about 5 points a game. Pass to Collins. Knocked away. Clock at 4. Prince the pass to Bazemore. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Bazemore's got his second basket.
Bazemore seems to be locked in. Even when there's an aggressive defense around him, not getting rattled.
And there's the call on John Collins. That's foul number 2 for him.
And you can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Morris. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Dennis Schroeder. And a change for the Hawks. The Monsters checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Now, here's Grant. 9 points last game. The Thunder with another miss.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Young against Westbrook. Young passes it to the Monster. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game. Billy Donovan has faced a tough job in Oklahoma City, Brent. Star players leaving town, some even criticizing him after they left.
The circumstances of Billy Donovan moving off of what he did at the University of Florida and making that a powerhouse Division I basketball program. It's been very interesting to have Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant to begin your career, and then pushing that team to almost beating the Golden State Warriors, losing in a Game 7 to losing Kevin Durant. Billy Donovan's seen a lot in the early part of his career. The hopes is that he continues to grow and learn. Really happy with the hire of Billy Donovan and what he brings to the table in terms of his basketball acumen.
Raymond Felton, who's checked in for Oklahoma City. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at Denver. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder, a half game back.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, well, one of the big stories of the year. Already this team's been absolutely on fire, and it hasn't just been one game here or there. It's been a sustained effort.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything that anyone saw coming. You couldn't see it in the offseason or the preseason, but they've come out here in the beginning of the year and done something pretty special.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
Well, that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
Three-pointer. Rebound, Atlanta.
He really suffocated him there, guys. Just excellent work.
And here's Young from the arc. Ferguson with the rebound. Thunder trailing by 12. It's tipped. Passes it to Patterson. Felton against Bazemore. Felton finds Adams. Second chance shot. And they have their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. Here's Young. Felton with some nice D.
He can't make a thing out there right now, guys. If he keeps this up, don't be surprised if his team gives up this lead.
Here's Ferguson. And the pass to Grant. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Patterson, that's good.
and they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Young against Felton. Prince outside. In the corner, Collins with it. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Collins has got the lead up to 12 now for Atlanta. Felton kicks to Ferguson. Out to the wing. Grant gets a wide open look. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And so Bazemore will bring it up for Atlanta. Pass to Young. Here's the monster. Pass to Prince. Now Young. He's covered by Grant. Shoots the three. Here's the monster. Kicks it to Bazemore. Passes it to Collins. From past the arc. And he's good on the three ball. Collins has got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, he couldn't connect on anything from outside in the first quarter, but now he's hit two threes in the second quarter, and he looks much better.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel comes in for Adams. And Georgia subbed in for Jeremy Grant. And Noel kicks to Ferguson. Adams against Felton. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And it's time for an injury report. And now David Aldridge has an update for us on Russell Westbrook. What's the news, David?
Hey guys, the Thunder's head athletic trainer gave me an update. It's not what anyone wanted to hear, as it sounds like it's a severe injury. Season is still very young, but that is bad news to get at any point of the year. We'll see how the team responds without him, Kevin.
Appreciate that, D.A. Well, it's never easy for a player to go through what he's experiencing, Greg, right now.
But it is something that happens to almost every player. He's strong enough mentally to get through it. This we know.
Sometimes off the court, you work harder than you do preparing for a regular game. He'll get himself ready to go. Look forward to when he gets back on the court.
Hits the front of the rim and out.
And one thing I liked in the first quarter was their aggressiveness to draw the contact, putting the defense on the defensive.
George with the bucket.
Well, that's Paul George's game. Most accurate when somebody's feeding him and he's got his feet set.
Back to Adams. 1:39 left in the first half of the game. 6 to shoot. The pass to the monster. In Atlanta again with the bucket.
Well, the defense looking at him like a Rubik's Cube. They cannot figure him out. He continues to light him up from the field. More importantly, they're winning.
Now here is George. 7 points in the game. And Patterson kicks to George. Sinks the three-pointer. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, Paul George, no problem pulling up well behind the three-point line to knock him down.
Adams, the pass to the monster. Jacks up a three. The Thunder pull it in. 51 seconds left to play in the first half. Right wing. Pass to Felton. To the inside.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. Adams against Felton. Herter. They get it back. Len. It's deflected.
You need more of this from Patterson. Such a big frame inside. I like to see it when he's swatting it away.
passes to the Monster. Shot clock at 6. From deep. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Noel's got 4 rebounds now tonight. George, that's a 2-pointer. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 3 assists in the game. Got the shot! He
Just
got it!
no better feeling to be able to deliver in a moment like that.
Yeah,
Those stick with you for the rest of your life.
absolutely.
Wow, what a miracle heave to finish off the quarter. How'd he get that one to go?
He's excited.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. And more than anything, their three-point shooting is what sparked them. A fantastic night from long range so far. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. New Orleans, you guys had a tough time stopping their offense in the first half. What do you have to do differently?
We got to protect the paint. They get way too many easy baskets. That's us communication on front and the post and, just communicating a lot more.
We'll see if those changes stick. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. They were on a nice little roll in that opening period as they got their lead up as high as 7 points. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
That was the half of the super sub for them. A lot of offense coming off the bench, and that's such a luxury to have that kind of firepower available. There were times when the pace picked up when the second unit came into the game. And that's the best part, having a bunch of guys who's ready at the drop of a hat.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
Well, the bottom line, Ernie, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yak'em, splakakataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What a game we're seeing from the Monster.
And how about that? Already through 2 quarters and some change. He's got a double-double.
Well, it's an impressive performance thus far, but it goes beyond just his ability right now. He's just simply outworking the opponent.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. There's so many great point guards in the league right now, Brent. Which of them do you think does the best job of running the pick and roll?
I think Chris Paul still heads up the top of my list for pick and roll operators. He's so devastating and has been for his entire career. In the mid-range, just settling in at the free throw line and popping shots that seem effortless, and he's able to knock it down. Steph Curry is still at the point guard position, does so many unique things, Kevin, playing without the basketball and setting screens away from the ball to open up teammates, which eventually gives him opportunities to shoot threes. So divergently different, those two, but two of my favorites to watch.
Inside pairing is Grant and Adams. Westbrook and Ferguson, their backcourt, and it's George in at the 3 slot. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. Here's Adams. Paul George making his last shot. The Monster passes to Adams. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Adams has got 9. Thunder trailing by 14. Westbrook kicks to Ferguson. Pass to Westbrook, and it's Grant in the corner. Back to Westbrook, fires the 3. A rebound by Young.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
The pass to Adams. Here's the monster. He's covered by Westbrook. Young with the ball. Adams, the pass to the monster. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
Here's Westbrook after the basket by Atlanta. A 3-ball. Here's Adams, and Adams with the slam.
Well, ferocious in power. Steven Adams on the inside, taking it out on the rim.
And he's just had one attempt at the line early.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for Adams. Well, you just look at the talent that left the Hawks over the last few seasons, Brent. Easy to see why they needed to start over.
Yeah, it started with Al Horford and his departure, and then Teague and Millsap did the same. And hard for any franchise to remain competitive when you lose that many quality players, especially their chemistry in Budenholzer's system. Arguably a great fit for one another, and now off to doing bigger and better things.
Thunder trailing by 13. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Here's Westbrook. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Russell Westbrook, passionate about the game of basketball, Brent, we know that, but fashion among his foremost interests outside the game.
Yeah, the honor the gift fashion line, which, you know, Kevin, you and I don't think we have much in our closets from that, but got to respect it. Fearless, not only on the court, but off the court in some of the attire that Russell Westbrook brings to the game.
No good on the second free throw.
Well, after averaging a triple-double during the 16-17 MVP campaign for Russell Westbrook, he just keeps coming at you. What an electrifying and exciting player.
And here's Young from the arc. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Man, sharp here to start the half. That's 3 in a row.
And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. They trail by 16. He kicks it to George. To the paint. Outside Westbrook. The tray. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. These teams have been terrific at turning turnovers into points. The 4th spot held by the Hawks.
They've shown a tremendous ability to cash in on their opponent's mistakes, creating offense with their defense.
Young against Westbrook. Pass to Bazemore. Here's the monster. He's got 18. That 3 off the mark.
Yeah, just the first miss of the half there. They have to be happy. 3 of 4 to start it off.
Ferguson kicks to Grant. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Here's the monster. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
Yeah, 80%. Is that a good number from the field? I think so. 4 of 5 here shooting. Terrific start.
The Hawks shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
One shot behind the lanes.
Russell Westbrook with 2 straight seasons, 2, of averaging a triple-double. This is a feat that we thought we would never see again. And Russell backed up the one campaign with another. Just remarkable stuff.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And the Thunder placing so much, Brent, on Westbrook's shoulders. It's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot. I'm not sure how much Russell actually feels it. He just goes out and continues to put up just staggering, eye-popping numbers. And to get where they want to go, I think they're going to have to find a way to complement him in some way, and he's going to have to trust in those teammates in order to push the envelope a bit.
And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Atlanta making a switch here. Dedmon's checked in. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Out to the right wing, Ferguson. The Thunder with another miss.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's Dedmon, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. And the Hawks lead by 21. Oklahoma City has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Collins against Grant. Outside for George. That one's good from the corner. George has got 4 points this quarter.
It's easy to understand why Paul George is one of the top scorers in the league. He can read the defense, he can shoot it, he can get inside, and he's riding a hot streak now.
Now, here is Young. 10 points for him. He is hauled in by Paul George.
Look, everyone wants to be part of a highlight play, but when you miss on completing it, it's pretty embarrassing, just like we saw there.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Bazemore dishes to Young. To the middle. Here's Dedmon, and Dedmon throws it down.
Dedmon sets the screen, and then he slashes to the appropriate place on the floor.
Thunder trailing by 18. Westbrook kicks to Adams. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Young against Westbrook. Now Young. Hard to imagine, but the stats are tremendous as he averages close to 27 points a game.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
They've done very, very well in transition. The problems have come in other areas, which is why they're trailing.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. There's the 3. It's good from long range. Young's got 13.
Well, he just nailed his second 3 of the half, guys. I'd be very aware of that if I were the defense right now.
Passes it to George. And George with the stuff.
Well, defender just a little too late in reacting. Gets a piece of Paul George, but a piece, that's not enough.
Young against Westbrook. Young taking his time here. From downtown, Ferguson with the rebound. Ferguson's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Grant. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Terrence Ferguson. The Hawks leading by 15. To Bazemore. Herter, he's covered by Westbrook. Shoots from the high post. Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. And the Thunder making a switch here. Morris is checked in. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Lenz checked in for John Collins. Young from outside. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. George has got 4 rebounds in this game. In the corner, it's Westbrook. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. And a look here at the shot chart for Young.
Well, they're going to have to look elsewhere for points because he has pulled a Houdini and completely disappeared from the offense in this one. Just no production from him, and nothing seems to be in rhythm for him right now. It's just not his night.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
Good on the bucket.
And a depth mid-range shooter as well. All Young needs is a little breathing room, and he set the fire.
And George kicks it over to Schroeder. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Schroeder's got his second basket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Herter, he's covered by Westbrook. And so George will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 15-point game.
And he has been ice cold from beyond the arc here since halftime, and he continues yet to fire away. He has got to tone it down if he wants to help his team.
Young outside, the dish to Bazemore. Just 5 to shoot. Atlanta needs to get off a shot here. Here's Dedmon. Morris with the rebound.
Shots like that drive coaches batty. I'll be shocked if he attempts that shot again.
Westbrook finds Morris. Schroeder outside. Shoots a 3. That shot off, and Atlanta will go the other way with it. Their biggest lead of the game was 21.
Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
They grabbed their own miss. Pass to George. In the corner, it's Morris. Dedmon with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. Four on the clock. Here's Schroeder.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now. A bit out of rhythm.
Bazemore passes to Len. Now here's Bazemore. Kicks to Young. From the arc. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Monday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. Then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards.
And the matchup against the Nuggets, this is what the fans have been wanting to see. Two of the best teams in the league duking it out, and you know whoever gets the win is going to be viewed as the team to beat.
And it's Westbrook missing.
You know, not sure if it's him or the defense, but just something's off tonight.
Well, something in this frame for sure, but when you're out of rhythm, sometimes it's better to play the role of being the facilitator.
Now here's Schroeder. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game.
Clearly a foul.
For Oklahoma City, they have shot 3 of 7 at the foul line. The first free throw is good.
Well, the best part of this Hawks team now is their youth. And with youth comes a ton of potential, a ton of room for this team to grow together, both the new coaching staff and the new guys to the league. And they have some cap flexibility, some other things that they can do to get creative around this youthful and exuberant roster.
Now, here is Young. 15 points in the game. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And yes, it's good. The Monsters got 7 points here in this quarter.
You just can't leave anyone open around Young. He's very capable of spotting his uncovered teammates.
And Brent with the Hawks having the picks they had in the draft helps as well.
Well, you bring that much talent in, that's always a good thing because talent is going to trump anything else. You add that to the rookies, John Collins, who was good last year, and the development of Taurean Prince. It seems like the core is going to be in place. It's just a team that over the next 2 or 3 seasons is going to have to learn what it takes to compete night in and night out.
Atlanta leading by 18. There's 49 seconds left to play in the third. And stolen by Noel. Westbrook finds Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Well, Westbrook keeping his options open on that possession, doesn't force the shot, and finds a man breaking free.
Young outside. From deep. And the 3 ball is good. Young's got 18 points.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Shooter kicks to Westbrook. Shoots over Bazemore. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. And so it's Atlanta taking a 19-point lead into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. Back right after this. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Even though the position is called shooting guard, passing part of your responsibilities in today's game.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Len out there with the monster. Then it's Young. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Young for 3. Thunder with the rebound. To the left wing. And here's Westbrook from the arc. No good on the shot. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. I see him. Schroeder against Young. Adams brings the double team. Shot clock at 6. Young passes to Bazemore. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Lob pass to George. And George with the stuff.
Great timing there. Paul George rising up, collecting the ball, and throwing it down.
Here's Young. The feed to Bazemore. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Crazy to think that Bazemore was mostly known for elaborate bench celebrations in Golden State before coming to Atlanta, but he's worked his way up and has eventually become a starter and a very important player, key player for these Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta making a switch here. Prince is checked in.
Bazemore is an athletic player who continues to try to evolve his game. When he gets out into transition, that's when you're going to get Bazemore at his best.
And it's George missing. Well, for Bazemore, working his way up has been a theme for his career.
Yeah, undrafted out of ODU, Old Dominion. He got reps in the Summer League and the D League, as it was known at the time, now the G League. And every challenge that he's met it head on with great enthusiasm and has found a way to gain a coach's confidence. Here we are now.
Grant, he's checked in for George. And a change for the Hawks. Collins is checked in. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. To the inside. Adams brings the double team. That one good for 2. The Monsters got 9 points here in the second half.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
And that one's good. Schroeder.
And even though Schroeder might be on the light end of things when it comes to his weight, he remains relentless driving towards the basket.
Prince outside. Well, there's a lot of talk, too, Brent, about the age requirement for entering the draft, and Commissioner Silver has said it's a clear change that's probably on the way. What do you think the league should do?
Can you and I talk about a guy that you know quite well who in 1995 came out as the
17-year-old? I know
in
it.
the NBA draft? Kevin Garnett came into the league and handled himself extremely well. Now, for every one of those stories, we know there were other ones where guys did not make much of their NBA careers.
But then here comes the G League.
The G League, to me, is the huge key.
That's the equalizer.
A lot of these guys have a ripcord now for some of those things that transpired over the course of the last 30 years, where they can have a softer landing point to continue to develop, to continue to mature, and have an opportunity to make something of their NBA career.
Excellent explanation. Here's Prince. Steven Adams making his last shot. Bazemore misses. Grant against Prince. Outside Westbrook. Shot from the wing. Offensive rebound. No good on the shot. The Hawks leading by 20. Here's the Monster. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
I like how Taurean Prince moves the ball, consistent at getting it to his teammates within the offense.
Terrence Ferguson's checked in for Oklahoma City. And that one misses.
I thought Prince had a phenomenal second year in the NBA last season, asked to do a little bit more, a little more confidence in his ball handling and scoring ability. He jumped into the starting lineup, and he instantly became a key part of what they were trying to do in a very intricate offense around former coach Mike Budenholzer.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Here's Westbrook. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out.
That's a nice release on the mid-range jump shot. Westbrook getting more consistent from there. Loves the right side especially.
Now the pass to Collins. Prince outside. Hawks passing it around. Here's the Monster. Plays it up and banks it in. The Monsters got 13 points here in the second half alone. You know, Brent, with Prince and his improvement, he just offers so much from the small forward position.
Now, there's been growth in every portion of the Garden that has been his skill set. One of the better passers at his position. He showed that off and played much more under control last year. I think just given the minutes, he settled into what it is that he could do to be impactful in games and did a great job with it in his second year.
And the shot is good.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Grant outside. In the corner, it's Westbrook. We love the sneakers these players wear. Now so many different styles. A lot of different signature shoes out there.
I'm not really a sneakerhead myself, Kevin. I didn't really fall down that rabbit hole, but I know some guys in the league, and we've seen photos of their closets at home filled with
hundreds.
Not hundreds. I've seen guys pushing thousands of pairs of shoes. Now that is dedication.
Worth a lot of money.
No doubt about it. And some of the guys, Kevin, don those specialty sneakers in big-time games. And the one guy that comes to mind for me is P.J. Tucker. Lots of play from P.J. Tucker about some of the things that he strapped on last year during the finals.
Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Bazemore passes to the Monster. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. The Monsters got 33 points. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here's Ferguson. Schroeder kicks to Ferguson. In the corner, it's Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Lets a floater go, and that's 2 points on the layup. Westbrook's got 4 points now in the quarter.
It's just amazing. They stop Westbrook short of getting to the rim, which is a victory in and of itself. But then Russell knocks down the floater.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
So interesting with Russell Westbrook. Never really touted or championed growing up. But if you go to UCLA, you have to be halfway decent, don't you, Kevin? 5'8" stick figure back in high school and came off the bench his freshman year at UCLA. And I just don't think anybody saw what was coming out of Russell Westbrook, but we're appreciating it now.
Now here's Adams. Well, we know that Dr. James Naismith came up with the idea when he was teaching at the YMCA. But as far as skill development, Brent, some feel that maybe in the skill category that the USA has fallen behind a little bit. Do you agree?
I think what the United States is doing on that level between your late grade school years and AAU programs in particular and your high school years, that they're trying to address this issue and get ahead of it a little bit. For years, there was a 10-year or 15-year gap about European players being schooled and being in institutions where they were basically young professionals from the age of 12 to 14 having school and basketball and being at a facility for just those things specifically. The last few years, there's been a lot of concern with players being more adept and more skilled here in the States. The change is coming.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Now here's Patterson. Dedmon defending. Outside, Felton lets the three fly. They get the rebound from outside the arc. Diallo, no good.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Adams, the bounce pass. In deep. Makes it off the glass. And that's now 37 points for the Monster.
This guy is just shredding the defense right now. He's hitting any shots he's putting up.
Here's Patterson. Misses the three.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
Lets it go with the three. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 11 rebounds in the game. Pass to Patterson. Here's Nader. Back to Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Atlanta's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. And Dedmon throws it down.
Well, the athleticism Dedmon's bringing right now on offense is paying some dividends, gliding through the air that time.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Diallo kicks to Nader. We hear a lot about small market teams being anxious about retaining their own star players. Is that overblown, or do you think there is reason for concern on their part?
Do we think that players are not going to get recognized if they play in a small market by the national media, if they're one of the best players?
Well, look at Oklahoma City, look at Milwaukee with Antetokounmpo. I mean, they're all getting recognized.
Yeah, I think these ideas have gone by the wayside for a lot of players, and they want the best opportunity for their playing and their best opportunity to shine, no matter where that is. So it's a bit of an archaic argument, in my opinion, Kevin, the way it is that we see guys nowadays, and take the small market thing out about it. There's one market, it's called the NBA.
And here is Adams. Patrick Patterson getting it to go from deep moments ago. Dedmon in the corner. Passes it to the Monster. Inside, kick out to Adams. And the foul on the Monster. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Thunder making a switch here. Morris is checked in. Deontay Davis is checked in for Atlanta. Oklahoma City shooting 40% from the field. Pass to Diallo. Back to Felton. Adams, some nice D.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Here's Bembry. Back to Adams. Carter outside. Lets it go. He can't get it to go. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Felton kicks to Diallo. Dishes it to Morris. And the pass to Nader. And the three ball is good. Atlanta's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Felton against Adams. There's no longer a home and road designation as far as light and dark jerseys. Is that an issue at all? I mean,
Not really. It's a little off-putting some games where you just flip on and your
trying
brain's
to figure out where they are. Exactly.
Where is this game being played?
Yes.
But with how many alternate jerseys last year teams had and specialty jerseys they had, it's a lot of fun to see the apparel companies paint a different picture on the floor.
Free throw good, Adams.
The Thunder, one of the lowest rates of assists in the league last year. Also, a team that does not move the ball around all that much to gain some advantage with strong side, weak side movement. So we'll see isolation, we'll see pick and roll, and very few passes in a contest like this.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Atlanta.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for the Monster.
Well, a consistent intensity is what he brought to the floor here. He hit the glass hard, and he came up with a ton of rebounds.
29 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Adams against Patterson. Adams finds Davis. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching!
You're right. And so it's Felton who will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the layup's good off the glass.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against length.
Yeah, this is the feel of a player to use his body to keep the shot from being blocked. Excellent work there.
And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.